greatness that night. It's about the fight. It ain't about the champion. It's about the fight. That's all I care about, the fight.
What
Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is...
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of
Gervonta Davis's coach Calvin Ford fired back at Lamont during the rematch press conference, saying, "It's over, and they'll see who the real champion is in the fight." His confident and assertive tone made it clear he firmly believes in Gervonta's victory and dominance in the ring.
And sit there and say to themselves like they came from a karate movie, man, I want to fight just like Tank. I want to be just like Tank.
Gervonta Davis is entering his upcoming rematch with complete focus and determination. Aware of the fight's significance for his career and legacy, he has pushed himself hard in training. Every session is carefully structured to enhance his conditioning and refine his technique. This time, Davis is determined to correct past mistakes and return as a sharper, stronger opponent. His team is fully committed, knowing this bout is key to reasserting his dominance in the sport.
One of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner, is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not following.
The reunion with Coach Calvin Ford has reinvigorated Davis's training atmosphere. Their strong bond is rooted in trust, respect, and a deep understanding of Davis's style and mindset. Ford has been instrumental in shaping Davis's raw talent into a disciplined, aggressive, and tactical fighter. This renewed partnership combines emotional drive with strategic focus, boosting Davis's confidence and aligning every part of his preparation with his championship ambitions.
Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer, got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically forcing
For Davis, the rematch is more than just a fight. It's a chance to restore his reputation and quiet the critics who doubted him after the first bout. That initial match cast uncertainty over his status, making this next clash a pivotal moment in his career. A dominant win would reaffirm his place among boxing's elite and show that the previous result was a rare misstep, not a measure of his true ability. This fight holds deep personal and professional meaning for Tank.
Lamont Roach, he feels that he won. Do you think the best thing going forward, they should just run it back, have a rematch?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I think a rematch is definitely called for. And I think probably, the sooner the better. So I would say, hey, let's work on a deal to where we could get in there within the next 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, I agree there.
In their first encounter, Davis displayed vulnerabilities rarely seen in his past performances. His defense wasn't as sharp, and his stamina faded as the fight went on. Lamont Roach capitalized on these flaws, landing punches that broke Davis's rhythm and shook his confidence. Fans and analysts took notice, recognizing that Davis wasn't at his best. The rematch gives him the chance to correct those mistakes and showcase his true potential.
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis. It very much reminds me of Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia. What Roach did, Rolly was doing the same thing. He ended up implementing it better against Ryan Garcia. Tank was having huge issues, and that's the Black Two Sugars. Watch me call that fight. I started laughing. I couldn't believe it because all he was patient with good power. All Roach was patient. He stayed focused. That's why him drinking and partying and shit is messing with me, because he beat him here. He stayed so damn focused. And he knew when Tank was going to punch. He knew when not to punch. And when he countered Tank, he rocked Tank. Tank got rocked at least twice that fight.
After the fight, Davis spoke openly about the mental and emotional struggles he faced. He admitted that pressure and fatigue had affected his focus and performance. The experience weighed heavily on him, even leading him to consider stepping away from boxing. His decision to seek therapy revealed the depth of his challenges, showing that the fight's impact went far beyond the physical. This honesty highlighted the often overlooked complexities of a boxer's life outside the ring.
And he wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends, and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon, but Lamont Roach posted a video recently on...
In preparation for the rematch, Davis's training environment has undergone a complete transformation. Each drill and sparring session is now executed with increased intensity and precision. His footwork shows marked improvement, displaying more fluidity and balance. His reaction time has quickened, enabling him to anticipate and counter more effectively. The laid-back approach is gone, replaced by focused discipline, signaling that Davis views this fight as a crucial test demanding his full commitment.
Stop closing up. Gotta let it go. Keep turning, step around. Keep turning.
The stakes in this fight go far beyond titles or rankings. The initial draw bruised Davis's pride and raised questions about his legacy in the boxing world. This personal setback has ignited a strong desire for redemption and validation. Davis is now driven by the need to prove his worth and reclaim his spot among the sports elite. The rematch is a fight for respect, identity, and honor, fueled by deep personal conviction.
We gotta talk about it. So Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at that and be like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims on all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, "Oh, this had no grease or oil in it." No one cares. Who cares? Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Davis's camp approached the first fight with a well-researched strategy targeting Roach's weaknesses. While the plan was sound, its execution didn't hold up during the bout. Instead of discarding their approach, Davis's team is now focused on refining and perfecting it. They're prioritizing sharper execution, tighter tactical discipline, and applying pressure at key moments to boost their chances of victory.
By Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Mm-hmm. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got to put the icing on the cake. That's all. Just hit the gears a little harder. That's all. He hit the gears hard enough the last time, but boxing is a dirty game. It's a dirty game. You got biased people, unfair people. Anybody saw that first fight that Jalil lost, they don't know boxing.
If Jalil is successful in this fight, what do you guys expect for Jalil? And then, obviously Eddie Hearn had a lot to say when Jalil took that loss.
Teofimo Lopez shared his thoughts on the aftermath of the controversial first bout, noting that Davis was left isolated as criticism from the boxing community mounted. Many were quick to question his status, adding pressure and doubt. Lopez emphasized how such scrutiny can affect a fighter's confidence and public image. His remarks highlight the high stakes of the rematch, as Davis fights not just for victory, but to restore his reputation among fans and fellow fighters.
A lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people.
The rematch carries crucial significance for both fighters, offering a chance to resolve lingering questions and solidify their place in the sport. Avoiding it could leave doubts and tarnish their legacies. Both Davis and Roach know this bout will be heavily analyzed and remembered, making peak performance essential. This shared understanding brings a heightened level of intensity and competitiveness to their preparation and mindset.
Shout out to my man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis.
Absolutely.
First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely. I mean, he's Baltimore all day. But I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Kent for real. Because me and him like have similar personalities. Know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont. So everything was just everything for real. But everything else, he made me believe in Kent for real. Because me and him like have similar personalities. Know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont. So everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the decision.
Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but I mean, we running it back for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Did that teach you a lesson though?
Absolutely, you know what I mean? But you gotta just do, it seemed like, cause I feel like he did, not only did he shock the world, it's like, I guess you just gotta do more on top of that. Like you just gotta do more, I guess.
Roach's performance in the first fight earned praise for his tactical skill and composure. He proved he could compete at the highest level, matching Davis in speed and power. His strategy forced Davis onto the defensive at times, establishing him as a worthy challenger. In the rematch, Roach has the opportunity to build on that showing by refining his speed, improving precision, and maintaining mental discipline to aim for a decisive win.
Tank became a ballsy fighter, which he's never been, according to everybody in the DC and Maryland area. You know, like,
but now it's all coming out.
It's all coming out.
It's already
been known before, but we never got to see it because nobody pushed Tank.
There were points early in that fight. I thought Tank was out hustling Lamont. He was, Lamont wasn't taking charge early on, and Gervonta, who's normally, but he was getting hit with straight left hands and getting turned and getting hit with straight left. His nose and mouth were red.
But that's the thing with Tank does what Teddy Atlas yelled at Michael Moore about. Tank wants to be able to hit you and hope you leave him alone. And when you don't do that, he starts to fade and fold.
Okay.
That's not championship caliber mentality.
We're talking about two guys who weren't big punchers. Okay, 12 rounds, I can hit you and make you miss, and hit you and make you miss, and hit you.
But I can keep the game plan. You can keep the game plan.
So what if Gervonta goes out there and shows his boxing skills?
Let's compare it to, say, a Tommy Morrison, who used to blow you away, but if he couldn't, he was gone. He was gassed out after a few rounds. There's a mentality where...
But Tank's not that guy we saw against Isaac Cruz. He was able...
Okay, even there, Isaac Cruz, looking back now, even Valenzuela outboxed Isaac Cruz.
Okay,
dude. I mean, come on.
But did he do it?
Apply the trade. Listen, it happens.
Well, we don't know exactly.
Your hands are going to be bruised. Did he get surgery after the Isaac Cruz fight? No.
I don't know. Maybe. I had a ton of surgeries. I had a ton of surgeries that the public knew nothing about. So I don't know.
I mean, they kind of know.
So Paul,
you can see where you can see hand surgery scars. You see my scars? My hand, I got a tic-tac-toe board all over my hand. When you get surgery, you can see that.
Well, Paulie, his argument, and you guys are on different sides of it in a different way, where he says tactically there's more to add to Gervonta. Gervonta could have done things that he didn't do.
Physically, there's a lot he's
You see it mentally.
Yes.
Is that harder to deal with?
I believe so, because physically, Gervonta has all the goods. That's why he's sold as the product he sold at. You look at Gervonta physically: speed, athleticism, power, timing,
ability to change directions.
If this guy has balls, he's really a pound-for-pound fighter that everybody claims he is. But because he doesn't have balls, I don't know that he's even a pound-for-pound fighter. I don't even know that he would be a lightweight champion if they didn't mix and match his opponents accordingly. You know what I'm saying? He probably shouldn't even be a lightweight champion now because Lamont Roach beat him the other week.
I got a great saying. So you always say if my aunt had...
Shakur Stevenson, who has sparred with Roach in the past, offered valuable insight into Roach's strategy and skill set. He praised Roach's defensive abilities, highlighting how well they disrupted Davis's offense. Stevenson's endorsement adds weight to Roach's chances in the rematch, underscoring the fight's competitive edge. His confidence in Roach signals that Davis will be up against a well-prepared and technically sharp opponent. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time.